Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
Man, we are on it.
On it.
Again.
Isn't there like a health supplement called On It or something?
Probably.
Like, is that like Athletic Greens or something?
Who knows?
I don't know.
But we're talking about...
I need some supplements.
Yeah, just powder up, bud. We are talking about the On Cloudmonster Hyper, which is not to be confused with the On Cloudmonster.
Or any of the other clouds that you may find in the stratosphere of the running world.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun review, so buckle up. We're going to get into it.
He says with the least enthusiastic.
Yeah, we're getting into it. Hey, Robbie,
right.
Let's just jump in. Let's talk about the upper because it's probably going to be the top favorite thing for me of this shoe.
Okay.
We were kind of hoping that the Cloudmonster update got a better upper. We were a little disappointed that they did not go all the way with it.
Mm-hmm.
A matter of fact, trying this shoe actually made me dislike the Cloudmonster 2 even more.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, the Cloudmonster, the upper on that was... The first version was baggy, and then the second version was somehow more baggy or roomier, which was an interesting move. Yeah, it's ran a little long, so I went a half size down in this shoe.
Mine is also a half size down and fits much better at a half size down.
Yeah. Yeah, so the upper on this is I don't know, it's like feels fancy. It's like a premium mesh upper.
Like satiny.
Yeah. Almost like Knights in white satin.
Like you could make sheets of this and relax.
You could. I feel like it's one of those commercials from the 90s, like with the music soundtracks, and they have like the foggy background. It looks like you're in a dream.
Would Fabio be riding on a white horse?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, this is kind of like a white horse. So, again, I really like the fit of this. It's definitely the best fitting On shoe I've worn. And it might be the best Super Trainer upper fit that I've worn. Or is this a
I'm gonna agree to disagree on these fronts. I mean, we're talking, if we're going in the Super Trainer, there's so many that we could compare. And I honestly don't feel like this even fits in the Super Trainer category.
It's supposed to be in the Super Trainer category.
Yeah.
But let's just pretend it for comparison's sake. Let's pretend that it is, whether it is or it isn't.
Okay.
I felt like the upper fit, I felt like it was better than the Super Blast, the Endorphin Speed, the SC Trainer. There's a few others. I love the fit. I thought it felt great.
Okay.
Yeah. Just trying to get.
I think it's an okay fitting upper. I wouldn't go as far as Robbie.
Okay.
It really feels to me like a better. I'm much happier with this upper than I was on the Cloudmonster 2 or Cloudmonster 1. I did have to go down a half size to get this fit. You can see that I've laced it up really tight across here to get that locked down. But once I got it down, you're right. I'm not going to complain too much about the fit. It has a nice saddled tongue with that sock liner. Plenty of cushioning around the collar and the heel counter.
The details, I love. On always does such a great job with the details.
Yes, they do. I love the little Swiss flag on the...
Swiss flag's always nice. These little stitching islands around the top and the bottom. So let's talk about the laces because we thought they were pretty cool.
We do, and you've been a real big fan of what I like to call the naughty sawtooth laces, which we're seeing on a lot of shoes now.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen them on some of the Diadora shoes. Obviously, Nike was the first one we saw them on with their race day shoes. You even have a Veja shoe that has the knobs on it.
Yeah.
And so this is like a different way to get that locked down. I think it works.
Yeah, so it has on one side of the lace, it's infused with rubber threads that go the length of the lace, which is kind of cool because when it's tied. Like it's basically an adhesive type property where it doesn't come apart. Coming
into the midsole, there's no board in this. There's no speed board. There's no plate of any kind. It's just some, you said it's even labeled like the real Pebax.
It is, yeah.
Puck in here, and then you've got a carrier foam of the Helion. They're calling this Helion HF, right?
Yeah, Helion HF. It goes, so you can kind of see it.
When you look through the holes?
It's a little bit hard, but it's an interesting design. So this, Pebax midsole. It's the same stuff that's used in the Cloudboom Echo 3. And it goes, you can see it in the forefoot, of course, and then it kind of like swings down here and then goes up in, but I'm not sure where it ends.
Yeah, it's tough to tell.
In the heel, although it's just this crazy concept because it doesn't actually come the whole way down to the ground. It's kind of like locked into this carrier foam, which is
like
just,
a puck.
Yeah, but it's like more of it's a full layer.
Yeah.
You get that midsole, but then wrapped in this carrier foam. And that makes a big difference in how it feels.
When you first went for a run for it and you sent me a text, how did you describe the feeling underfoot?
I think I said a little bit, did I say clunky?
You said clunky,
okay. Yeah.
And so I already was like, okay, I'm going to go out. And I tried it on my foot in the office and I was like, I don't know if clunky is going to feel clunky. It feels pretty good just walking around. I went out and then I immediately understood what you meant by clunky, and I consider it more boxy. Like you're very aware of this feeling underfoot of almost like they took this upper and locked it into a block, and it's a very structured feeling.
Yeah.
And not only that, it feels almost like a stability shoe where there's no movement in the heel at all. So there's no squish in the heel. I don't know another way to describe it, kind of like that old school stability shoe feeling where this is very firm and then you have a little bit of give under your foot from the Pebax.
Yeah.
But not enough to like feel like, wow, I'm getting that energy return off the toe. So for me, coming through this shoe just was like this like block feeling.
I didn't think it was like firm, but I felt it was not the bouncy energy return feeling you might be thinking from a shoe that has Pebax, something like the Prime X Strong or the Hoka CLO X1. If you're thinking that's what you're getting out of that, you're not. So it is a more responsive feel, more of a daily trainer-ish type feels, a speedier, like
I feel like this doled out the Pebax. Like that's where my issue comes with this shoe. It's not a bad shoe if you just want like a daily trainer.
For sure.
When you start putting it in the super category and you put it at 220, there's certain expectations that come with that it should feel a little more responsive, resilient, like bounce, giving life to your step. And this one doesn't do that for me. For this one, I feel like they took the magic out of Pebax.
I feel like whenever something's wrapped in the carrier and they try to church it up by saying, oh, it's Pebax wrapped in this, it never translates to what you think it's going to. Talking about the Zoom Fly, among other shoes. But I would say it's like a very confusing shoe because in some ways there are times when I'm running in it and I kept coming back to the shoe because I'm like, I really want to love this shoe, probably just because it looks so good. And I kept coming back to it. And there's times when you run in it and you're like, this feels nice. But then you're also like, it feels like I'm running in shoe boxes, kind of. Like, that's actually a good comparison because they're light. Shoe boxes are lightweight. So it doesn't feel like a heavy shoe.
I like to think of a shoe that brings enjoyment to my run and makes it fun to run. This shoe wasn't it for me. Doing the miles for testing, I knew that once I finished up my miles for this isn't going to be on my feet and it's not going to be part of my rotation.
Yeah. I feel like it's a shoe where you're always thinking, do I like this shoe or do I not?
And I never couldn't think about the shoe not being on my foot because I could feel like that blockiness and the heavy. It kind of is a little bottom heavy, so I always was aware of the shoe.
And that's the crazy thing because the shoe only weighs 9.7 ounces, 270 grams for your size 10, which is like pretty lightweight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's lighter than a lot of the...
Certainly lighter than the Cloudmonster 2.
Yeah.
Which is 11.1 ounces.
It's an ounce and a half lighter than the Cloudmonster 2. But yeah, it just doesn't.
What's the stack?
Feel... stack is 37.5 in the heel, 31.5 in the forefoot, 6mm drop. So you're getting supposedly that stack. You're getting that you're supposed to have the Pebax, but it just doesn't feel light. And like, it's a shoe like the Super Blast. You put that on, that disappears. Like it feels awesome beginning to end, any pace. It is a super trainer. And this is just like, what am I doing?
Where's the magic?
Yeah.
I will tell you though, of the On shoes, I went this morning because I was like, knew that we were going to record this. I said, I like the Eclipse. I want to go back and try the Eclipse and see if I still love that. This is the best On shoe there is right now. So,
for sure.
like, if you want an On shoe and you really want the brand, you want the look, all the stuff, this is the shoe. This shoe to me feels way better than this shoe. It's soft, it's bouncy. They call this the speedboard down here. It gives it a little bit more rigidity than the Cloud Surfer, which I felt got a little mushy. I still like this one, but it did get a little soft. So this one is my pick for Cloud. If you want an On shoe, Cloud Eclipse is the way to go. And it's much less expensive. Do you know the price on this one?
I forget. I think it's like 160.
I was gonna say 160.
Now I want to ask you one question because we didn't love Adidas Prime X Strung 2 that much. We had high expectations for that shoe, so maybe that was why. But we found that big guy runners love that shoe. Do you think that's going to be the case with this shoe?
I do.
Okay.
The thing that I don't like about this being so blocky and so structured is something that they'll probably like because they're not going to get as much movement in the heel. It's not going to be as squirrely. Plus, they're going to still get the benefit of this Pebax. I think they're going to probably enjoy the shoe a lot more than I would. I don't know, though. I'm excited. Are we having any of our big reviews?
Yeah, they will be reviewing it. We're kind of like having some problems getting the shoe, but we will take care of it. The one thing I did actually like about the shoe was I felt like it was more nimble than I thought. I felt like the upper fit, that kind of what you're talking about, the heel, and even the toe, I feel like there's good traction up here. I felt that it was, for a higher stack shoe, it was a little more, nimble and nice around turns and corners and stuff. But, I mean, again, another thing that made it a confusing shoe in a way.
Robbie, I'm going to give both the Cloud. I'm going to go back and change my light for Cloudmonster 2. And I'm going to put these. This is slightly better than the Cloudmonster 2. But I think with the price and that it's supposed to be a super shoe and the fact that I don't think I'll be running more miles in this one or putting it into the rotation, I think I'm going to have to give it a red.
All right. Dude, we're handing out reds again, people. We're evening the playing field. Don't be sitting there, Nike, Adidas, Brooks, Hoka, 86, thinking you're not going to get one in the future, too.
Brooks just got one.
Yeah, wait, Brooks no. We're bringing red back.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, how do you feel about it?
I'd say because of the price point and what it's supposed to be, I'm agreeing with you. It's a red. Like you said, it's not a bad shoe. If you want it for a daily trainer, it's totally fine. But why?
If this was $150, then I'd be like, oh, it's a really nice daily trainer.
I feel like it felt a little boxy underfoot, but I would say it's whatever. I think that would sway it a little bit, but I just think that price point, we're talking about Saucony Orphan Pro 4 is the same price.
Yeah,
basically.
so you get a race day shoe.
Carbon plated race day shoe that's very good for the same price, and it's just like, I don't know. So, will you be wearing it casually? I think I will be a little bit.
I don't know. It just depends on how much Carl wants it.
It looks good. When I see people like out of pocket track club and everyone running in it looks like a good shoe, like on foot.
Yeah, I think it does this make it look like I got buck teeth? You want people to do something, Robbie?
Yeah. If you like this video, maybe you're a fan of the color red. Like the video, subscribe, and make sure you follow us on our social media. We have descriptions to our podcast down below in the description. The drop, Fuel for the Soul. Subscribe to our weekly email where you'll get all the reviews in one place and links to the videos.
Yeah, and if you do want to find a positive review out there, there's plenty of reviewers that gave this really nice reviews. So.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what people like to do is find the reviewer that matches their opinions.
Yeah. So like if you don't like our opinion, you can find somebody else's opinion that matches up with the one that you want.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. See you next time.